I think for our next little segue, we'll go to our new expert of the week, which is Kane. Kane, tell us about what we're about to look at, what the deal is, what have we heard, what's going on. Give us a little pre-intro before we watch what we're about to watch.
Basically, yeah, we're about to witness IMD get absolutely shagged.
Oh,
yeah.
Tell him.
But obviously, there's other things.
Okay, yeah. So what was so IMD were on Britain's Got Talent. This is the semi-finals, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
And they didn't get through. And there is somewhat of an uproar about such things.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things like, when we watch the videos, they're going to be shown on screen as well.
The video will be shown on screen. Yeah.
There's things like camera angles and stuff. Because it's TV, you don't get to see it all in person, and everyone knows a different vibe in person.
Yeah.
So there's different camera angles that they kind of messed up on.
Like they didn't do the set justice.
Yeah, but it was still an amazing set.
Yeah.
And I heard something about the lights as well. They basically said at the start they couldn't have lights. They weren't allowed any lighting or anything. And then they had to like counter them. Yeah, we need our lights, you know what I'm saying? Because that's Omar's vision and he wants it to be portrayed.
How he is that something that they usually have on? Well, like, do they usually say no lights on?
It's Britain's Got Talent, so I assumed you allowed anything you want. Like when I used to watch it back in the day, you had people on TVs and like, you know what I'm saying. You get all these things.
Interesting,
but I feel like also it's television, so it's never what you think. I'm sure that behind the scenes, it's never what it gives the impression of. Like, that's the sense I get it.
I have a email thread between myself, with a boy band lot in it. I don't think so. Between myself and Brian Friedman, because they wanted to have like girls in the boy band's BGT. I think it was semis, and like the boys just did not want it. And
like backup dancers for the dancers.
Yeah,
right.
And that's obviously not what the boys envisioned for like their piece. And it wasn't from Brian, but it's just you could tell that like the producers had one idea of what the piece needed to be. And it didn't necessarily align with the boys. Because I think with crews, there's a difference, like with the acts that just come with like their act. They're not going to care so much about the production around it.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, where we do make work with all that involved, I guess it's a bit of a surprise to be like, what do you mean you're just going to flash random coloured lights at any point during my set? So I do understand it as a issue, but I also understand why a producer would be like,
that's what's going to happen.
We're not doing a tech.
Yeah.
You just make sure you don't slip and crack on.
For me, the hard thing is like, because it's portrayed as a talent show, competition. If it was like, here's just a TV show, right? And it's like, then they say, look, you can't have your lights. You have to do this. We're going to add like backup dancers to your piece or whatever it might be. It's like, all right, cool. Like you're the ones paying for this show to be put on, you know what I mean? Like, cool. But then if it's like, well, you've asked us to come and compete, and the votes depend on what these people see on their screens.
You're adding elements that we don't.
And then if you do those elements better for one, it's like if you went to a theatre show and it's like the lighting designers could decide what to do, but it's like you're making my piece look bad based on your creative decisions that are not going to be equal across the board, and you might make different creative decisions which pay off for one person and not for another, and we're the ones that have the career riding on it, you know what I mean? So I get why it's different, but also like you were saying, it is or like Jem was saying, it's like TV is notorious for this type of thing.
I'd be interested to know if it was this time in comparison to any other time, because this is not their first time at the rodeo.
I wonder if they had lighting before and now that's why they're pissed. There's also something me and Sophia were talking about where it's like in the middle of the set, I don't know, because this is live, right?
I think it is, but I think they managed to pattern the lighting because the what do you call it, the management team like behind all the like people that would be take you around or whatever, they was really helpful and they helped them out a bit. I feel like it's more so the people that run the show, like the judges and the deck, all these main people, they just don't care. In my opinion.
I also think to like Debbie and Derek from Downham, aren't going to watch this and be like, it was good, but the lights were crap. Like, I wouldn't think that would take votes away.
Debbie and Derek from Downham.
Off the rip.
Is Downham a real place first?
Yeah,
Downham's
not far.
dead.
Oh, Downham's dead. Okay.
Debbie and Derek will not be pleased. Yeah, I think, that's the thing. It's like, there's like your vision, and then there's the like, is this audio, like how much is that going to play in? I don't know, actually. Maybe.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So this is the other thing me and Sophia were talking about, is that one funny thing is like in the middle, you see a camera angle of like, and I think these cameras were like, the camera work was done live, so they couldn't like change it. But in the middle, you see one of the judges come in halfway through the set.
I heard about,
and sit down,
thing.
which is that part. I'm a bit like,
don't ruin it. We should just watch
okay,
it.
you'll see it. But wait. And what Sophia was saying as well is that the judges are, there's the crowd are voting.
Sounds like another battle.
Or the audience are voting for these ones, right? But if there's a tie, right? Is that what you said? If there's a draw, then the judges have to choose between the two.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the
draw.
Something like that. Like the audience vote, and then if there's like two people they can't choose from, then the judges have to make a decision. So the judges would have to do a job.
Okay.
In my opinion, that's just silly. That if you're judges, you're judges. So judge. You get me? So
yeah,
I don't think you should be putting out to public, because one, you don't actually know if these votes are. Obviously, there's loads of conspiracies and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't believe that the votes are real, you know what I mean? But then again, there's things like you get in public to vote now. You could have one kid that everyone just thinks cute and vote him. And then that's why I feel like as well that these lot, they work very hard, and it's like that's not seen by people outside that are just watching it on TV. They don't think, oh yeah, these guys they're working their asses off every day just to get here. They're just seeing it as their entertainment.
Yeah, of course. But I guess, this is the thing where it's like the different arenas bring with them different downsides, I guess. If you're doing like theatre work, it's like there's some downsides to that. If you're doing battles, there's some downsides to that. If you're doing TV, there's definitely downsides to that. So it's kind of like, not like, it sounds dumb to be like it is what it is, but it kind of is what it is.
Like nature of the beast.
Kind of like, all right, if you're going to go on TV, you have to go in, like I would imagine you have to go in with like, right, this is all the bullshit, and what we're going to get out of it is worth the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, we know that they're not going to care, they're not going to this, blah, blah, blah. Like if I go, let's say I did a lot of like, not like theatre work necessarily, but I spent a lot of time in the kind of artistic-y, choreographic spaces, right? If I go into a popping battle and I'm like, oh, I really expressed myself and like delve deep into this thing, and I really felt myself, like maybe in a room with like a Sweet Spot Sundays, not plugging anything, but check it out. But like if I was there, maybe that's something that you would have been like, wow, that was a magical moment, and like you really made me feel great and whatever, right?
Rocked my chakras.
Exactly. I might have rocked your chakras, and then they kind of combine, and then they make a little transformer or however it works.
Yeah.
And then, but like if I do that in a battle and then no one gives a shit, I can't be like, oh, you guys don't care about my artist. You know what I mean? It's like, it was the wrong place to like, I know where people care about what. And it's similarly, if I come up with like a sick beat kill combo thing and do it at your session and no one really reacts, it's like, it's not really the vibe, it's more of an exchange. And
then I guess that's the sacrifice you have to make. Like I would do my thing in most contexts,
right?
But I relinquish any, not even control, but any attachment to the response, because my focus and my priority is just doing me in these spaces. So if I went there, I'd be like, I'm not even going to make it past like the first round, but it's just, I just want to go into this kind of context and like show up as myself. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but that's, I think, which is what brings it full circle, is that I would imagine one of the only reasons to go on Britain's Got Talent, for me, from my perspective, is for results. Okay. So it's easier to be like, for me to go into, let's say, it's easier for me to go into a battle and just kind of express myself, not get through prelims, but feel good about what I did, because I'm like, cool, it's an artistic arena almost. This is a very corporate, public arena. So it's like, if you're going, and I'm not speaking for Omar, but like for me, if I was to ever go on Britain's Got Talent, it would only be for the publicity.
like I don't want to express myself. It's just I need more eyes on my stuff. This is the biggest thing because
but
I
the
know
eyes on your stuff it would be valuable to get eyes on
the real stuff.
Yeah,
I think I just more meant like in terms of I would be more frustrated because that was the only reason. Yeah,
exactly. I get that. Yeah, I hear it.
Putting all your putting me out there and getting just brushed off
to eyes that aren't really going to appreciate it. I guess
that's why it's kind of like not sad. That sounds a bit wet, but like
it's okay to be sad. Boys get sad.
Like it's kind of to see. It's like it's disappointing to see because I know Omar. Yeah, and I've had conversations with him, and I know how deep his mind is, and I know that he's put a lot into it.
Yeah,
and for it to kind of get discredited by a lot of public because they don't they don't understand. They don't know what we go through just to find a space to create this.
Yeah, it does. It's hard to avoid.
I'd love to know what he wants. Like, are they going to keep entering until they win?
Or if there's like something like a number of. I don't know.
Like I just want to know. I'd love to know the why.
Yeah, we might have to get call Omar. We would call Omar this week, but we're calling too many people this week. Let's have a look.
Should we watch it?
Yeah, let's. I don't think we need to watch the whole thing because I think the end is people talking and stuff.
Fair enough.
But we'll watch the set, of course.
Okay.
So should we watch this video then? Let's check out the BGT set and see what we think. Make sure you keep an eye out for Amanda randomly showing up middle of the set.
Amanda, you're a joke, man.
Bring it down a little bit, Jim, maybe.
Our friends, our lovers, our sisters, our brothers, our mothers, our fathers, grandparents.
I love the voiceovers.
Strong.
Oi. Flip
sick.
onto the stage.
Yeah, that was sick.
That is like. These lights look cool, no? Maybe not. They've got some nice tricks.
Yeah.
There you go, look.
Yeah.
Oops. Where you been?
He's pissed. Simon's pissed.
He's like, hey, don't you work here? That's nice.
That's my little sister.
Is it?
Aww.
Sick.
Cody's going ham, bro.
Pyrotechnics and all.
I'm a little lost as to the narrative, not gonna lie.
I don't know that there is one.
They shook hands for a reason, surely. And they were lovers and friends as sisters and brothers.
Is there much else to watch on the talking bits? Any bits of notes?
I sent you a bunch of screenshots. Just on general
Yeah, pull it down, Jim.
General not notes, just general things that happened, such as I remember, Marcus was telling me that the floor was mad slippery. It was hard for dancers to be on. So I think that's a bit
hard work.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean as to they don't actually care, in my opinion.
I thought it looked really I wouldn't have known that watching it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have thought that there was obviously of course your vision is your vision, but I wouldn't have watched that and said, oh, they fucked up the cameras.
No,
do you know what I mean?
I
thought all the angles were quite nice. But yeah, obviously maybe Omar is maybe in his head like it could have been nicer though.
Also, I think that when you're used to looking at a piece as a whole, you know, and from a stage where you can see everything that's going on stage
from the front,
it's like different. Whereas I actually don't think that would look good on TV, like
just flat,
one wide angle.
No, but I think, you know, like when you have a music video or something where I would imagine maybe you have, and probably you have the same issue with music videos, but like where the person doing the editing isn't necessarily a dancer, it's like maybe you're like, oh, like you still want the camera cuts and the close-ups and all that, but just the right time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To like showcase what like, you're trying to.
Because some editors treat it like a bit of a free-for-all, don't they? It's like, well, no, that was done at a specific time. Like, do you have ears?
Sorry, you go.
There could have been like points that, because the camera done that, we missed something.
True.
Yes.
They could have been.
But I thought that when I was watching it, like it's a good thing that there was constantly something.
Yeah.
Even if there was something like focal happening, there was still loads going on around.
So that you always,
as much as that's good, so you're always going to catch something.
Yeah.
It doesn't help a cameraman focus on, because they might not have known what you wanted them to capture. Whereas if everyone's like still while this one thing's happening, they're not going to shoot to someone crouched on the floor. They're just going to get the action. So I guess
But to play devil's advocate, is that more of a risk? Because then if they do decide to zoom in on someone's face while they're standing it's like they could, it's more of a chance that they could get it right. But if they get it wrong, it looks way worse.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I've seen IMD like live and they do it this way anyway. So I don't think this was the
choice,
like a choice for telly. But yeah, I mean, I'm not the editor or the cameraman, but I have also worked on X Factor and watched how the director works in Italy, so it's different, but they literally in that instance are watching all the different cameras and just sat there going 4 7 with like no real rhyme or reason.
Yeah, they're just moving.
It might be quite random.
Yeah, and also probably there's like a style or a way that they cut and a certain thing to the show. You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with this specific number. It's just the pacing or the look that they want for the show. So then the show looks consistent across the different numbers.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, the way they cut the angles that and the rhythm of it.
Yeah.
So I think that probably is more of a decision than like an artistic decision. Because also because BGT is like any art form or there has to be like some consistency in the style and not to like cater to each act differently, because it would look like wildly a different show.
And the turnaround's really quick with BGT, isn't it? Like, don't they do like a
I think so.
It's consecutive nights once they get to the end, I think. But
I think it was literally like, I don't know when they done the first round, but I know this was the other day, and then the finals was yesterday.
Oh, right.
So what the controversy being that they felt they should have got through and didn't?
What do we want to discuss? This what do you call that? This rogue tweet that came out.
There's like,
oh god,
is there bear?
Yeah, there's one tweet and there's a couple like news articles and stuff. But I've seen the tweet.
The plot thickens.
Grab my popcorn.
So the tweet was something like, from what I remember, basically.
Did you send me it?
Yeah. It might be easier.
Let's get it.
Let's
bait him.
Get it. No, not on.
It's the one. No, I didn't send it to you. I don't think I sent you the tweet. I remember the tweet.
Give us the general gist of it.
The tweet was basically they could have got the wild card, but something like they said that they didn't because it would have been too hard to get 30 child licenses and chaperones for the dancers in 24 hours, basically saying that's the reason why, because they basically couldn't bother to do all the safeguarding stuff and all the
that is a lot of work, to be fair.
Yeah, and it is also near impossible to get them turned around in.
It takes like 4 weeks.
But surely you get the license for all the way up to the final.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
in the first place.
But then
that's
or don't allow children.
Yeah, I mean, this is if that's true, that's a big fuck up.
Yeah, because you just get it for the whole time.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people that are adults in this crew as well. So I don't.
Yeah,
that's a bit. But then Omar, when I was talking to Omar, he told me that they came 6th out of, I'm not sure how many, but that was due to, I think, the public votes. They came 6th, and to get a wild card, I think you have to be top 3 or top 4.
Right. Okay. So they weren't eligible.
Yeah. So there's the tweet saying this, and then but Omar's telling me this, so I'd rather take Omar's word for that because
it's all alleged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Allegedly.
And then there's loads of news articles basically saying that people are unhappy.
Yeah. So the stuff you sent me was a lot of from Metro and from some other news articles, but saying that that basically they were booing after the results came out, like in the
were there loads of parents there
there's
and stuff?
If you go on, I think it's on IMD's actual Instagram, there's actually a video of I think this is what they didn't show on TV, which I find a bit literally all you hear is IMD, like the whole room apparently is screaming. They've got it on video if you go on the page. So that's again, like they didn't show that on TV.
Yeah,
like they're not showing how much the crowd was with them.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is the hard thing about TV. I mean, I'm definitely of the opinion that, again, like I said, like it kind of is what it is in terms of like a lot of TV crap is TV crap. And I've heard like this is not the first story I've heard about someone being unhappy.
Yes.
I mean, funnily enough, Lee being on earlier, but like when he was on Got to Dance, he didn't love it either for similar sort of issues. But I think it's like this is kind of like you're saying, like the dangers of being on TV is like, you know that, and I mean, I get it. I mean, I get the frustration. 100% get the frustration. I more get the frustration if you're like a really new act and you're young dancers and you're like, wait, what?
Yes.
But I think kind of our age or generation and experience level, it's like, this is notorious now that like all of these talent shows, and they definitely have their positives, they have their uses, they're really beneficial for, especially like, and they're really, we owe them a lot of thanks for how much they've put dance out to the general public, I think, in a lot of ways, you know?
Yeah.
But I think they're also notorious for it being a TV show over a competition. It's a fake competition. It's like how the Kardashians is like reality TV show. It's not, or whatever the reality, you know, it's like Love Island or whatever. Is it reality? Is this like CCTV cameras or is this scripted and edited and changed? And
they have a specific story they want to tell.
Yes, and they're going to tell it. Yeah. And this is like, these talent shows in air quotes are notorious for this at this point. So it's like.
Yeah, that's why I want to know why he does it, because the outcome seems similar. I'm not sure how far they get. I hope I'm not tripping in that they have done this BGT a few times, right? IMD.
I think they got to the
third time. This is the third time.
Yeah, they got to the semi-finals the first time they done it.
Hashtag get Sophia and Mike.
Yeah. I think the first time they done it, they got to the semis as well.
Okay.
And the same sort of thing happened, but I wasn't really about, so I didn't really know anything. I just saw it. But then I think the second time they went on it, I might be wrong, but I don't think it made TV because at the time someone told me that I think they was wearing army costume,
right?
And they basically said like, nah, you can't have that. So that's
interesting.
That's what I heard, like,
because they wouldn't be able to see them. It's camel.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just like, and the next act, where are they?
Yeah.
I might be chatting rubbish there, but I was told that. And then this year they went on it again, and this has happened.
Yeah, I mean, I may never know the reasons why, but I hope it's worth it no matter what the
that's what you want,
result.
You know? Yeah, because it's like if and I talk about this with battles all the time. I'm sure you've felt this, but it's like if you go in being like, I want to win. If you anything less than a win is you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Even if you had an amazing, you know, like your battle on the weekend, the one I was at, like that extra round against Gabby was what, semi-finals?
Yeah.
Bro, if you had lost that and that was your final round, I would have come home talking about you because that round was so good. And it's like, if you in your head was like, if you were like, imagine you were like, you wanted to win, that's the only thing you want, and then you do that round and then come home disappointed. It's like,
Yeah, no,
it's like you shouldn't be. You know what I mean? It's like you made an impression. I mean, amazing that you got the win as well. But this is kind of the problem. Is like if you go in to something artistic and way out of your control with the aim of like we have to win, you're really setting yourself up for a high chance of like feeling upset. Yes. And it's like what you saying. Like I hope that this is obviously the frustration is going to come regardless. You know, like if you lose a battle, you're always pissed. Like it's normal. But I hope that there's like a deeper thing where they're gaining more out of this than we're maybe seeing from just the whether they pass or not. Yeah, and it's building their, you know,
you can see how much every time I see them perform, like they care so much and they're so passionate about it. And I mean, it looked like they were emotional at the end of that without even knowing that they hadn't got through. So yeah, I just hope all the kids were like enjoyed it for what it was, despite the result.
Yeah, for sure.
And for more on BGT, don't you have a older podcast out with Bones from when he did BGT?
I do have an older podcast out with Bones from when he did BGT. Thanks for bringing that up.
Very good.
Guys, if you're listening, you should go and check out my older podcast with Bones from when he did BGT. Bones is a magician and also a dancer, older generation, battle head, b-boy popper, really nice guy.